Alright, so today's video, we are watching a Where Are They Now video. So the way the Where Are They Now works is we watch somebody that we previously have watched, or they can submit VODs within 3 months of their previous review. This player, their previous rank, was Silver 2 on support on PC 1 year ago. And to give you kind of like a quick recap of what it was like last time we watched this player, they played Illari when Illari was like brand new, so that gives you an idea of when we last watched the VOD. And we found that they were healing their own Pylon, to give you an idea. So last time we watched them, they were healing their own Pylon, but now it's a year later. And now we have to guess where their rank is at. So we're gonna watch through, see what they're doing, give them some advice, and then go from there. They say, I'm back again after a whole year with another game. This match was very close for both teams, with the game going to round 3 and 4. My team was all very chill, and we're working hard this match, and I think my support gameplay was pretty decent this match, and there are no Pylons to heal this time, sadly. But, much like how last time I was spectated, I was the new support Illari. I start off this match as the newest support Juno, who I've been having an absolute blast playing. She's definitely my go-to pick on support at the moment, and I've been winning my fair share of games in her as well. But this time, I can't really think of anything my team could have done differently to win besides don't die forehead. So let me know if you know anything or notice anything glaring I should work on improving. All right, let's do it. And we get to guess where their rank's at. So last time, once again, they were Silver 2. We don't know their rank just yet. Hey, the use of Hyper Ring at the beginning, I'm already happy. Right? You already see a Hyper Ring used, I'm happy. I like playing Juno. Juno's fun. This would be a good time to right-click. Okay, so remember that your right-click not only damages enemies, but also heals your teammates. If you ever feel like everybody's getting super low and you have like this type of position, and use your right-click or whatever, like you're on console, etc. This is a PC game, but use the right-click, because not only does it do damage, but like it also heals your teammates. So the reason why they have it enabled for your teammates is so that because Juno doesn't have strong AoE healing when it comes to like your left-click, you need to be able to have like a way to, you know, at least get a little bit of burst healing, and that's a good way to start that. So just remember to do that. I think a lot of people want to be really aggressive with the right click and use it for damage, but also get used to using it for healing. I feel like you're missing out on an ult charge by just not using it. Bad rotation by you. Your teammates went early. I mean, obviously it wasn't communicated, but, or maybe it was, but you should have been there much sooner. All right, just reset. What do I mean by rotation? Sure. Team was rotating this way. That's kind of what I was referencing. So their team, so you already saw the team going this way, and there was 3 ahead of them. So the Juno was actually too late to that. What you want to do is you actually want to go at the same time that at the time that it goes at Orisa. You go at the same time that Orisa would go, and then when you go over there, that's when you would make that play. Does that make sense? If you're behind in that situation, it just means you weren't keeping up with the pace of your teammates. Whether it was being distracted, they were shooting at you, etc. That's usually what that reference is. Yeah. Like, here you go. Now you're getting it. See? That's why you want to right-click that, although I have no idea why your soldier ran at them. But, yeah. Yeah. Alright. So far, it's just kind of like one of those... I have no idea. Dude. This game is wild right now. Like, I'm just watching, like, the most, like, scuffed team fight so far. Uh-oh. Everybody's just taking 1v1s. Like, that Mercy popped Valk, and the first thing Mercy did was fly at their team 1v5, and it didn't go well. Okay, so now you're going Kiriko. All right, so you tried Juno, wasn't working, now you're on Kiriko. Which, at this point, you'll probably have a bit more experience. You said that, like, when you were playing Juno, you were a bit new to Juno anyway, so this is fine. Now we switch over to this. Okay.
Under my protection.
Huh. So far, just very chill moments. Nice spam shot on him. I actually don't mind that cleanse. I'll explain why. That Zarya was dead, so at that point, you're just trying to guarantee you keep your Zarya alive. And it's all gonna, it can be hindsight, but I like that cleanse. I think keeping your Zarya alive there, I think sometimes people wait for the perfect opportunity for a cleanse, or they don't use it at all, or they use it too much. I think that was a really good balance of like recognizing that the only way you win this team fight is by keeping your Zarya alive. So rather than wait for the perfect moment for this cleanse, why don't I do that? And that was a good cleanse. Your Zarya survived, built 30% again on grab because of that survivability, and you won the team fight most importantly. So not a bad cleanse. Your soldier's positioning is definitely consistently out of position. If you haven't noticed, they run at them in a straight line and feed, but that happens. We've all been there before. Sometimes the soldier, you just want to hit some shots, right? That cleanse was a little bit different in the sense of, just a slight reaction here. If you ever hear a Hanzo storm arrowing at you, and I'm not saying you need to do this every time, don't be afraid to just like TP out of it. Just as a little side note, because that could be a huge part of that for you. Okay, anyway, back to the... Yeah, I mean, so far, if I have like an initial impression on this game so far, I would say gold, only because of what I'm seeing with the really scuffed team fights. At the same time, sometimes, whether it's bronze, whether it's top 500, you're gonna have scuffed gameplay like that. It's gonna happen, right? It's just like, no matter how much you like know about the game, what you expect like each rank to play like, you sometimes just have scuff battles, and it doesn't make any, like, it won't make any sense. It just does, right? Like, they just windowed right there. Are they gonna touch the cart? They did. Actually, good job there. That swift step is exactly what I was talking about. That was a great play by you. Now, hit the cleanse on the Zarya if you need to. Keep your Zarya alive if you need to. I mean, I'm just leaving that option for you there if you feel like you don't know if you want to cleanse this or not. That's kind of also on your Zarya, though. Your Zarya feels like they're not resetting. Yeah, so, just to point out, by the way, if you're the Zarya player in that situation, or if you're a tank player and you're over here expecting your Zarya, like, your teammates to be able to heal you up during that, don't do that. Just hide. Keep your energy. Don't sit there and try to run at them. So you did a good job of trying to keep your Zarya alive, but that was your Zarya's fault. There's a reason why I always tell people to play cover and kind of like hide and like make plays like that, is because that exact reason. Anyway. Yep. I actually, so they're going to spawn here. So when they had their back turned at that point, if that's what you're talking about, I'm not actually as worried about that as much. And I only say that because, like, look at the angle they have to get to eventually be able to shoot them. So they were, like, right there. It just isn't... They're going to have plenty of reaction time. So in that situation, after you just win a team, or you just won the team fight, I'm okay with that. Yeah, well, I keep in mind, I don't think this is...
I feel warm inside.
I just need to see. I need to see. We've all been here. It's just happened to all of us. Don't worry. If you're this Hanzo, we've all been there. Don't you worry. Hanzo, we've all been there. It happens, okay? I just saw the kill feed. I'm like, wait, what happened? So far, so good. I think the... I don't know. Actually worked out. Perfect. Nice. Good job. Go in with your Reaper if you... Never mind. Now you wait. Now you know what I'm going to ask for here. I want an early Kitsune out of you. I mean, that's on your soldier. That's your soldier's fault. Because, like, even if you run in there and try to save your teammate, like, you're gonna be susceptible with them. So, not bad. But yeah, I'm actually kind of pretty happy with how your third point went there. I feel like one of the problems your team's running into right now is that you have a very aggressive Soldier 76 on your team who kind of gives them free picks a lot of the time. So fights have become scuffed when it becomes very like brawly like that. Your Juno gameplay obviously had a lot to work on. Kiriko so far has been pretty good. Not really upset about any of that. So. Good job staying alive there.
Appreciate it.
You know, I will say, it's very interesting seeing that your tank's response to them having a Winston was to go Zarya. When, like, technically, ooh, I'm gonna be honest with you, nice cleanse, not your fault. That cleanse was, like, perfect for, like, the idea. The Widow just happened to hit, like, a shot, like, split second. But yeah, Winston's, like, a really good counter against Zarya. You're ready to just, yeah. In that situation, by the way, if you need to get out of there, I'd rather see you teleport into your team and then use cleanse. And you go, what do you mean? Why would you do that? Like, why would you want to TP into your team and use cleanse? Well, here's the reason. If you use cleanse there, what is your next play going to be? You're probably going to TP into your team. So the reason why I say that is if you swift step out, which would be using your teleport into the teammates, then you would have to survive the damage from them there, but then you also will cleanse your teammate and yourself for more survivability. Do you get what I'm saying? So I would actually have liked to see you go for a swift step into a cleanse. And I don't know if the cooldown aligned with it, but I saw you look at your feet to go for the cleanse. I actually think the right play would have been to TP into your team and then cleanse. So kind of get that mindset in there sometimes that like, okay, if I'm by myself and I don't have somebody who can keep me alive, I'm TPing in, swift step, using cleanse if needed on your team and you. So you get the benefit of both. Okay, so see, you see like your reaction here again is try to shoot at the Sombra? Just teleport. Like you know your Mercy's behind you, you know your Junkrat's right here, and then save your cleanse. Heck, you know your Zari's here. But do that, okay? Because right there your reaction was, uh-oh. Nope, just teleport. Make it hard for them. I know that like it's, like you don't want to have to use these important cooldowns, but like what's going to be better? Forcing your Mercy res out or having to run back from spawn or surviving because you use one of those cooldowns? And Swift Step's on a pretty forgiving cooldown. I mean, they did nerf it like a while ago, right? But like it is still a very forgiving cooldown. Also, how about your Mercy killing the Widow right there? Feels good. How can she teleport when she's hacked in that instant? I'll pause again. So the hack actually doesn't last that long, to give you an idea. So the hack actually doesn't last as long. The problem is, and sometimes there's a bit of confusion on this one, is it says hacked on the screen, right? So let me just to give this just to kind of as a reminder here. Just because it says hacked in your screen does not mean your abilities aren't used. It means that you're on the screen of all the players. Does that make sense? So when you're hacked initially, you can't use your abilities for what is it, like half a second or something? You can't use your abilities, but after that you can. Now your screen still says hacked, but that's just telling you that there's a wall hack on you, right? Or is it like, what, a second and a half or something? It's like, it's not that long, right? But when it says hacked on your screen, your abilities, you can use your abilities after like, whatever what is it, 1.5 seconds? Yeah, 1.5 seconds, right? You can still use your abilities after that. It's just gonna say hacked on your screen to let you know that you're wall hacked on their screen, okay? Is that making sense? I'll show you what I mean if they get hacked again. Finding the cleanse. I saw you went for the swift step. They just made a good play. I mean, you know the lockout isn't that long, but you never realize that the hack screen isn't the time of the actual lockout. Yes. Which, I mean, it's actually good. It's good information to know because, like, even though you know the lockout time isn't as long, like, you might think it's longer than it is. So, like, let's say that you see hacked and maybe your reaction is not to look at your cooldowns yet. It can definitely be important to know that, right? Okay, now on to Moira. Do.
For the parched.
You started playing Sombra? There you go. By the way, your random spam you were doing there. Okay. Can I ask you a question? What are you doing? Okay, I need to pause for a second. Why are you randomly spamming your heal on nobody? Like, what you just like threw your heal at a soldier? You just try to heal a soldier back here. Your teammates are full HP. Also, keep in mind, like, if your teammates are getting healed by the Mercy and they're like at 80% and there's no like threat, save your resources. I want to look at your resources right now and they've done nothing. You see this? I want you to see your resource bar. That should not look like that based off of what I've seen. At the very least, it should be at like 95%. I mean, at the very most, that is. Sorry. There you go. Also, I think EMP has a longer lockout, by the way, too. Just in case you're wondering there if you were watching that. But as you can still see, it was still viable. Yeah. Okay. Now remember, your resources are done through damage. Your resources are done through damage. Okay. The reason why you're out of resources, nope, don't, okay. Bad. All right, and the reason why, okay, so what you don't want to do, by the way, here, is did you see when you threw your healing orb? That was going to be a bad play, right? Because you need that damage orb to get your resources back. So for anybody who's playing Moira or learning Moira right now, etc., what you need to do is you need to get your resources back by doing damage. So the reason why that was a bad orb right here is because you threw a healing orb at a Mercy from that range, but you lost all your ability to get any of your resources back with a damage orb going this way, right? So I'd rather see you throw a damage orb this way to get some of your healing resource back than to sit at this amount of healing resources going into this next team fight. See what I'm saying? And on like why that would be like not an effective play. That's what I'm noticing here. So, okay, anyway. Damage orb. Get a damage orb out there now. This is too much downtime. Damage orb. Do that even sooner. You need to get your resources back. Now look at the resources when it does damage. Okay, it didn't do any damage. Ready? Set. Damage orb. Yep. Stop. Okay, we need to stop right now. Enough of this, like, randomly heal your teammates to burst heal them for, like, I know it has, like, a little bit of, like, a healing over time effect at a certain point, but what you're doing wrong here is you're just using your resources for no reason. Say you're like me when you play Overwatch. You need to hit buttons. Hit your right click for fun. Hold your right click, all right? Do something that's, like, not using your healing resource, okay? This could be as simple as, like, you just need to hit buttons. I'm the same way, right? Listen, you ever notice I jump a little bit too much when I'm playing Overwatch? I've got a little bit better. I just need to hit buttons sometimes, so I get it. If you're gonna hit buttons, don't hit your healing resource one, okay? Because you're just wasting too many resources. Damage orb. I know you're trying to heal your Junkrat, but like, let your Mercy deal with that. Heck, no one even saw them. They're gonna get the passive. There you go. There's your damage orb. No, they're full HP. Stop. You gotta stop doing this. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna waste so many resources. Damage orb. Get a damage orb out there now. Remember, you would have a damage orb by the time you use your damage orb. Okay, now look at your resources. Okay, just so everybody saw that. You see how quickly your resources went up with a damage orb? Do you see why I'm trying to really, like, get the idea out there that you need to use your damage orb more aggressively? Do you see that? That is why I'm getting you to do that. Because of that exact reason. Right there. Okay? Look at that. Look at the right clicks on Ryan with the damage. Do you see? Look at the resources. Perfect. See? That's why I'm trying to like get you in the mindset of using your damage orb way more than you are. I like how the Reinhardt died to the Junkrat mines on the floor. I would be careful of getting too aggro here unless you're dying on Kart. Okay, never mind. Worked out. Good res. I still think it's going to go in favor of their team, though, and you're going to not have ults for retake. You're going to have good resources now. If you needed to use a healing orb, you don't have to, but... Yep. There you go. Okay, now this is interesting positioning. I mean, your Ramatra's here, too, so it's a party. Healing orb. Yep. Healing orb that because you're in a small room, so it's going to get more value because it's going to bounce off of walls, and then plus you both are low. I would try to reset backwards after this. Nice shot. Try to back out if you can. More back out isn't like position, and then I mean like back away from the point. There you go. Nice. Good hold. Good job. You and your Ramatra played very well there. Big slam. That's why tracking ultimates is very important. Remember, one of the coolest skill sets you can have in Overwatch is being able to track ultimates. Because if you track ultimates, and your teammates actually, I say your teammates probably won't walk in front of them and get shattered, but even in top 500, we'll call all the ultimates they have, and they'll walk in front and get shattered. But it's good to know what they have, because I think they can play that a little bit differently rather than face tanking a Ryan. What rank is this? We don't know. I have to guess at the end. This is a Where Are They Now video. Last time we watched them was a year ago, and they were Silver 2. Launching. Alright, I'm ready. Set. Went for a healing orb. And ult now. Ult. Too late. I should have called you to ult even sooner than that. Okay, I talked about this recently in a VOD, and I want to make sure I keep reiterating this point, okay? Do not, like, get into the mindset of Moira of I'm going to wait till everybody's low and then I'm going to ult. I want you to get in the mindset of I'm going to be proactive with my ultimate so that way I can get both the value of the damage and the healing done, okay? Right there was a situation where you waited so long to use your ultimate. By the time that you actually ulted, that was it. Like, your teammates are already dead. So I want you to be a little bit more proactive and aggressive with your ultimate. Like, what's going to be more effective? Healing your critical HP teammates who have to back up and can't push in, right? That's number one. Or, let's go to the flip side of that. Leading in with the damage that puts them at low HP and your teammates also at good HP and they can't damage them. So, That's why I think if you're playing Moira and you always like question when should you use your ultimate, don't be afraid to use it more proactively, right? And it might take a few like, not bad ultimates, but like, you know, a couple like, you know, too early Moira ultimates to recognize the timing. But one thing I will say is you probably will see better improvement in your ultimates if you play it that way. Also, big slam. Did they watch because of all the jumping? I mean, I think that's just a thing in general, like hitting the jump button in games. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right. Well, first of all, an okay defense. I still think your Moira needs, like, you need to clean up a lot of, like, the random, you know, burst heal that you're trying to do the whole time. But overall, not too bad. Now you're on Life Weaver. You're really playing all the heroes here. So the Cardinals are your favorite team. I mean, they're good. I think their week 1 was, like, they're still learning how to play together. But I think it was a good game, for sure. Oh, that's fair, James. Remind me to talk about football after this VOD. I think there's one more thing about that, too. Where, like, sometimes it can be unpredictable. I'll explain it after. So far, okay. I'm okay with, like, your pulls. Like, for example, this is more on your Ramatra staying there for too long. Like, right here. This is one of these team fights that no matter how I told you how to play this, you're probably going to lose that team fight because everybody on your team went to different spots. You see what I'm talking about? How every single person here went to different spots in the map, went to this, went to that. I think in this situation, like, even if I told you exactly how to play that correctly, if your teammates are all going to run around the map in like a horseshoe right there, you see how there's like they're everywhere, it's going to be a struggle. And that was like a team effort, like, lost team fight. It wasn't just you, it wasn't just your Ramatra, it was everybody. And that sometimes happens. And once again, this happens in top 500 too, that you're gonna have that happen. Next thing you can do is just regroup for the next team fight. So. Oh, I hope everything goes well. You got this, Bright. Or no, wait, who said they have that tomorrow? Oh, it is Bright. Okay, yeah, hope everything goes well. So right here, yeah, you're doing fine here. Keeping your teammates in range. A little bit late on the pull. I get a little bit of the hesitation of going for the pull there, but at the same time, I feel like, remember, I'd rather see you save your teammate on what would be considered a bad pull than not using your pull at all and then not saving anybody, right? I think that's an interesting way to put it, so. Hey, stop the EMP. A trio's interesting, because I get what you're going for, but I think this goes back to, like, play to survive rather than play to put your ultimate where your teammates won't get as much value. But, I mean, it worked out. Your teammates ended up ulting and you won it. I like how the camera screen was you just staring at the floor. I love that. Isn't that great? Love to see it. Oh, are you going Moira again? I better see better resources used here. Okay? Healing up your team. Uncle Dirtfoot, thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you, Hiimishie. Thank you. All right, a little bit of you overusing your resources again, but I'm gonna let the team fight start. Getting some damage output. Damage orb, perfect. Good job. Good idea of damage orb. Nice. You can heal and orb this one if you want to. I'm okay with that. That is just to make sure you keep everybody alive in that situation where, like, you need to win this team fight. I'm okay with that. That's totally fine. That one's a little bit different. I probably would have damage orbed that one, but at the same time, that one won't be as... It won't matter as much, but this is fine. It can definitely be hard sometimes to make that decision between heal and orb or damage orb in that type of situation, but I think at a certain point there, you're fine. Remember, resources are important for you in Moira. No random space. No, stop doing that. Stop doing that. I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to put that, like, that dot free heal. But a lot of the time, like, you don't need to do that early because you end up using a bunch of your resource anyway by doing that. So it's like, I want you to get out of the habit of just wasting that many resources. Like, look at your resources going into this team fight to where, like, you might have had a better reaction to using your Moira ultimate, or, like, you could have waited an extra second because of, like, okay, your teammates are dead in a 3v5. Instead, you almost felt like you were forced to. So that's where I get kind of concerned with, like, your usage there in Moira. It's that definitely on Moira is a concern. And it looks like your team might lose this? Yep. Well, it ended up being a good game, though, right? All right, so we're going to start with a couple things here. First of all, one, on Juno, remember to use your right click a bit more, be with your teammates. That's the number one thing. Like, I felt like you were a little bit too hesitant, and then sometimes you fell behind your teammates. When you're on Kiriko, pretty good outside of the swift step thing I talked about, where like you weren't willing to use your swift step to survive. You just kind of like looked at the floor and try to like duel a Sombra. Don't do that. Once again, you don't need to make that play all the time, but swift step and then save your Suzu for when you go into somebody. Moira, I think, was your number one issue, though. Lifeweaver, there wasn't enough time. Moira, I really needed you to get out of the habit of overusing your resources. I think that you keep falling behind way too much, right? Like, falling behind way too much, in my opinion. I think that, like, that is a bit of a problem, where, like, your resources are being used like crazy, and you're not giving yourself opportunity to just, like, start off pre-fight without any cooldowns used at full resources. So start trying to do that, like that little play you were doing. There were so many times where you were randomly hailing the air. Exactly what somebody said. So, but yeah. So my initial guess at the beginning of the video was gold. Now it's about where in gold. I'm gonna be once again. I end up being a little bit maybe optimistic, but I'm gonna go with gold too. I actually think that you're on like this area of gold where you can get into plat eventually. But I think the way the team fights went, that it's still somewhere in like the middle of gold, which is a great climb. People be like, oh, what? Silver to gold in a year? That is good. Like, progression at any point is going to be good, and everybody will progress differently. Some players, it might take a while to get to another rank, but I think gold 2 is where I'm going to go at, and their rank is gold 2. Right on the dot, gold 2. Let's go, baby. Gold 2. And the reason being is, like, I see a lot of team fights happen in there, and that was the most important thing to me. You said that was a rigged guess? No. I mean, I said gold at the beginning, and then I went with gold 2 because I feel like the way the team fights are happening were just a little bit, you know, there was good team fights and there was bad team fights, and a lot of that can just mean that it's kind of all over the place between gold and plat. So there you go. So you were gold 2. Good climb. Great job. Keep at it. You got this. Definitely clean up a lot of that play we talked about. I think like if you can clean up that gameplay, you're probably going to see some really good results. So definitely do that. You got this. You got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment, all that helps. Remember, subbing to the YouTube means you know when my videos go live, so that helps a ton. If you want to submit your own spectating, etc., my Discord in the description below, that's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch upload the webcam, also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing day /night.